I'm not taking nobody over me. There's no question. But I think Mike Jordan would say the same thing. Rest his soul. Kobe Bryant would say the same thing. Magic Johnson will say the same thing. Larry Bird will say the same thing. Shaq could say the same thing, James said. The late, great Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't think none of us are going to take somebody else. If there's a general manager and he's eyeballing all of us on a baseline with the number one pick, it's going to be hard not to take me, champ.
LeBron James just brought the GOAT debate back to life, and somehow Larry Bird fans found their way right into the middle of it. The Lakers are dealing with drama around LeBron's future. Luka Doncic is now the new face of the franchise. Austin Reeves just became a major part of the core, and suddenly every move in Los Angeles feels connected to LeBron's legacy. Then LeBron made it clear that when it comes to the greatest player ever, he is not taking anybody over himself. That one answer was all it took for Bird fans to revive old comments and remind people that this debate is much bigger than LeBron versus Jordan. That answer was pure LeBron. He did not dodge it. He did not give a soft answer. He did not say, "I respect everybody." He basically said, "If you were asking me who the greatest is, I'm choosing myself." And honestly, that is what you expect from someone at that level. Michael Jordan believed he was the best. Kobe Bryant believed he was the best. Larry Bird walked on the floor believing nobody could touch him. That confidence is part of greatness. But once LeBron said it out loud, every old debate came rushing back. People always like to talk about who's the greatest, who's the GOAT. And I don't like those discussions because different eras, different players, different rules. Who would be some of your Mount Rushmore? You named them all. And there's more, Reggie. 'Cause I can't think. That old Bird comment is why this story is so interesting. Bird was not hating on LeBron. He actually defended him. He told people to enjoy LeBron while he's still playing because players like that do not come around often. That is what makes Larry's voice different in this debate. Bird is one of the coldest competitors the game has ever seen. But even he knows LeBron's career is historic. He respects the longevity, the production, the all-around game, and the way LeBron has stayed great longer than almost anyone thought possible. But here's where Bird fans pushed back. Respecting LeBron does not mean handing him the GOAT crown. That's the difference. Bird can call LeBron one of the greatest ever and still believe Jordan stands above everyone. And that is the exact lane Bird fans are using now. They are saying, yes, LeBron is unbelievable. Yes, his longevity is insane. Yes, his numbers are almost impossible to argue with. But if the debate is about the very top, Bird's old comments still point back to Michael Jordan. I mean, there's a lot of great shooters, and you're always going to leave somebody out and people get their feelings hurt by that. I couldn't care less. The one thing I do know, I always knew how good I was. I didn't care what you thought of my game. Now, I knew in the majority of the games I played with the team I have, we're going to win more. That is the part that makes the Bird angle powerful. Larry Bird played against Jordan. He saw the early version before the rings, before the Bulls dynasty, before the entire world accepted Jordan as the standard. And Bird knew right away that Jordan was different. That matters to fans because Bird was not easily impressed. He was not someone who handed out empty praise. He was a 3-time MVP, a champion, and one of the smartest players ever. So when Bird gives Jordan that kind of respect, people treat it like evidence. And this is where the Lakers drama makes everything louder. LeBron is no longer just being judged by what is already done. He's being judged by how this final chapter looks. The Lakers are shifting toward Luka. Reeves is now part of the future. The team still has roster holes. LeBron's next decision is unclear. So, every storyline becomes part of the legacy conversation. If he stays and the Lakers fail, people use it against him. If he leaves, people call it another move. If Luka takes over, people say LeBron's era in Los Angeles ended quietly. Still have to be very careful with what they give to LeBron James because every dollar they give him is less money they can give somebody else. And while I believe that Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic are a powerhouse backcoat and will score a ton of points and will lead to many wins, if you have those two guys as your backcoat, making $100 million a year because that's what they're going to make pretty soon here. That is why this debate feels different right now. It's not happening in a vacuum. LeBron's future is tied to the Lakers' direction. Luka is in his prime. The Lakers can't wait forever. And LeBron is still chasing the kind of ending that protects his legacy instead of making people question it. Bird fans are using this moment to say this is the difference between eras. Jordan's final Bulls chapter ended with a title. Bird's peak was shorter, but his prime was remembered as pure dominance and toughness. LeBron's career is longer than both, but the final years are becoming messy. Now, to be fair, that's not all LeBron's fault. The Lakers have made plenty of roster mistakes since the 2020 title. They've changed supporting casts, chased names, struggled with balance, and failed to consistently build the right kind of team around LeBron and Anthony Davis. Now with Luka, the same question comes back again. Are the Lakers building a real contender, or are they just collecting big names and hoping talent solves everything? So, here we are so excited that the summer of 26 is here. In a way, that's putting the pressure solely on the Lakers front office. We're going to do our part. We were the leading scorer in the NBA this year. We were the MVP of the league. We're going to be fully healthy coming in next year. Now, give me a roster that I can win a championship with. This is the part that makes LeBron's GOAT claim even more complicated. If LeBron says he is the greatest, then people judge everything through that standard. Great regular seasons are not enough. Being amazing at 41 is not enough. Fans ask, can you still win? Can you still control a playoff series? Can you still be the main reason your team beats the best teams in the league? That may sound unfair, but that is the price of calling yourself the greatest. And Bird fans love that part of the conversation because Larry's case was never built on longevity. Bird's case was built on peak impact. He entered the league and immediately changed the Celtics. He turned games with shooting, passing, rebounding, trash talk, toughness, and IQ. He won 3 straight MVPs in the middle of the most physical era in NBA history. He did not have LeBron's athletic gifts, but he had a level of skill and confidence that made him feel dangerous every night. First layup for 2 behind the back. Oh my goodness. How do you do that? That is why Bird fans get defensive whenever the GOAT debate becomes only LeBron versus Jordan. They feel like the conversation skips over players who changed the league before the social media era. Bird was not just a great shooter. He was a complete offensive genius. He could see passes before defenders knew they were open. He could control a game without needing to dominate the ball the way modern stars do. And if you put Bird in today's spacing-heavy NBA, his fans believe his numbers would explode. But this is not just about Bird being underrated. It is about what different generations value. LeBron fans value longevity, all-around production, durability, and carrying teams across 2 decades. Jordan fans value peak dominance, finals perfection, scoring pressure, and killer instinct. Bird fans value skill, IQ, toughness, and the kind of competitive edge that made every opponent feel like they were being mentally attacked. That is why the debate never ends. Everyone is arguing from a different definition of greatness. LeBron had 31 and 10. Steph Curry had 38 points. And look at this. Most 30-point career games. LeBron James just one shy of tying your GOAT. LeBron James is phenomenal. He's great. He's on the Mount Rushmore of basketball. He's not Michael Jordan. That clip brings the modern debate back in. Stephen A. and other analysts keep going back to the same point. LeBron can be incredible, but to many people, he still is not Michael Jordan. And Bird fans use that as another opening. Because if Jordan is still the standard, then Larry Bird's old comments matter. If Larry Bird, one of the greatest competitors ever, saw Jordan as different, then fans believe that carries more weight than a modern social media argument. But LeBron's side has a strong answer, too. Nobody has ever done what he has done for this long. He entered the league as a teenager, carried impossible expectations, won in 3 cities, became the all-time scoring leader, stayed elite into his 40s, and still has the power to control the NBA news cycle. That is not normal. That is historic. Even Bird's praise of LeBron shows how the older generation understands how rare this is. LeBron, MJ, Kareem, Steph, what are you going to order? They're sitting at the same table. These guys are sitting at the same table. Magic, Bird, Tim Duncan, they're all sitting at the same table. Kobe, they're all sitting at the same table. I disagree with you. I would say the top 10 are all sitting at the same table. That is where the video should land. Larry Bird fans are not reviving old comments just to tear LeBron down. They're reviving them because the GOAT debate has become too narrow. It's not only LeBron's numbers versus Jordan's rings. It's also about Bird's skill, Magic's leadership, Kareem's longevity, Kobe's mentality, Russell's winning, and how each era created a different kind of greatness. The Lakers' drama simply made the argument louder. LeBron is at a crossroads. Luka is taking over the future. The Lakers have to choose a direction. And while all of that is happening, LeBron is still telling the world he would take himself over anyone. That confidence is why he's LeBron. But it's also why fans from every era are going to respond. Bird fans responded with history. Jordan fans responded with dominance. LeBron fans responded with longevity. And the truth is all of them have a case. But the reason Larry Bird's old comments hit so hard is because they show the balance that fans often miss. Bird respected LeBron. He praised him. He told people to enjoy him. But he also came from an era where greatness was measured by fear, rivalries, rings, and whether another legend looked at you and knew you were different. That is why the debate is alive again. LeBron said he's the GOAT. Lakers drama made his legacy feel fragile. Luka's arrival changed the future in Los Angeles. And Larry Bird fans reminded everyone that before people argue about who owns the crown, they should remember how many legends helped build the throne. LeBron may believe he's the GOAT, but Larry Bird fans are making sure the old school still gets a vote.